Get up and go, baby. All right, we're getting going here. We're live. Henry McClure live.
That's the camera there, right?
That's the camera.
Okay.
You want me to move it over?
I don't know. How's it picking me up?
We'll look right there.
If I look right there, I'm supposed to look right there, aren't I?
Well, that's how it's picking you up.
Oh, okay. So I can look right there?
You can look right there or look right there.
Either one.
If you want to look at yourself, look there. If you want to look,
the audience.
Yeah, we're talking to the audience.
Talking to the audience. Very good. I'll talk to
You know, it's Saturday, so it's James Bolden Jr. light. Because he wanted to keep it light today.
Yes.
So no hammer and nails.
No hammer and nails.
You know, that's a movie. That's a movie quote. On the Edge of Darkness. Yes. Mel Gibson. You like that movie?
I don't think
he says you got to decide whether you're if you're hanging on the cross or you're hammering the nails. You know.
Yeah, we're hanging on the cross today.
All right, that's what we got going. Did you look up Dismas?
Who?
Dismas.
Dismas.
Yeah, Dismas. He was the guy flanking Jesus.
Oh.
You know, the first codified prophet.
No, I didn't look up Dismas.
Did you read this?
Yeah.
Talk right into it.
Can you hear me?
I can hear you.
Okay.
Let's see right there. This is the.
Oh, I see.
See, watch this. This is. We're glad to have you. That's the people applauding you right now.
Oh, okay.
The studio audience.
Very good. Very good.
What do you want to talk about?
Well, all I've got today is
I'd keep that microphone close.
Okay. And Matthew 7:15 reads, "Beware of the false prophets who come to you in sheep's clothing, but inwardly they are ravenous wolves. By their fruits you shall know them. For what is a man profited if he gains the whole world and loses his own soul?"
He just got a job in Myrtle Beach.
Who's that?
Matt Pavarnak.
Oh, yeah, he never did call me.
He never called you.
Never called me.
False prophet.
False prophet. False prophet.
False prophet.
Yes. And the government workers, people who represent the government, what are they hiding, Henry?
Who?
Huh?
Which ones?
Well, I just said.
You mean the ones that want to fight Elon Musk investigating?
Well, no, the ones who. But what does a man profit if he gains the whole world and loses his own soul? What does a man profited? You know what that means, Henry?
No, does that mean like people shouldn't be tearing down Elon Musk and his Teslas?
Well, what that means is, Henry, in layman terms, that means that you made $1 trillion like Elon Musk, but you sold your soul to the devil.
Did he?
Well, I'm not talking about Elon. I'm saying this is what this verse means.
Okay, but
you want to talk about Elon?
No. I want to talk about a guy. Oh, we're not crucifying anybody today.
Well,
Can you give me an example?
I'm not crucifying. Yeah, let me give you this here.
Besides Matt Pavarnak.
Okay. When you have sold your soul to the devil.
Okay, like Molly Howell.
Well, I don't know. I'm not calling no names. When you have made, when everybody has a price, don't they, Henry?
Well, I mean,
everyone has a price.
That reminds me of a story.
Go ahead. Go ahead. Like you said, I'm light today.
Well, it's like the guy was sitting at the bar and he's lamenting over a scotch.
Okay.
And there's this beautiful woman next to him, and he doesn't know her.
Okay.
And he said, "Man," she goes, "Well, what's wrong?" He goes, "Well, my dog died, my wife divorced me, and I just lost my job." Okay. And she goes, "Wow, you're having some bad luck."
Uh-huh.
And he says, "Well, He said, I got $1 million and I'd give it to you if you'd make love to me. She goes, well, you're having a bad day. You're a handsome man. You seem like a good fellow. You're not married, are you? And he goes, no. She goes, neither am I. All right. I'll make love to you for $1 million.
Go ahead, Henry. That's good. Go ahead, Henry.
She says, fine. Okay.
Is that the end of the story?
No.
Go ahead. I'm listening.
And he says, all right. Hey, can I fuck you for $100? And she goes, hey, I'm not that kind of girl. He goes, look, we've already determined what kind of girl you are. Now we're just negotiating the price.
Well,
so, yeah, everybody probably has a price.
That's exactly what we're talking about. She sold her soul.
She sold her soul for the $1 million.
Or did she take the 100?
Well, no, that's where the story ends.
Okay.
So because then,
well, no, that's a good story, and that's a perfect story.
This is R-rated.
She sold her soul
for the $1 million.
For the $1 million.
So we already know what kind of person she is.
That's what he found out.
So now make $100,
right?
And do it enough, you'll make $1 million,
right? Right.
Hey, look, I'll be a steady client.
Right. That's a good example. I like that. That's a good example. You sell your soul, and everybody has a price. Now, let me finish this here. I would like for
Bible verses made simple.
Yeah, I would like for those of you who are speaking another way to follow Jesus, who is the light. A good leader is the next topic. So, yes, Henry, you made $1 million. You made $1 billion. And some of us has made $1 trillion. Okay? Now, what does that mean?
That they were successful business people?
They were successful business people. That is correct.
Okay, this brings up the question right now is what is success to you?
To me?
Yeah.
Success to me is knowing Jesus Christ as our Lord and Savior. And the reason I'm saying that, Henry, is because even though there's different levels of profit, we still, at the end of the day, we can all eat steak dinners. We still have a house, a roof over our heads. Some have bigger roofs, some smaller roofs. The point I'm trying to bring home is, Henry, and I want to ask you the question.
Okay.
Will $1 billion make you happier than $1 million?
Yeah.
It will make you happy.
Yeah.
Okay.
You know why?
Can you please tell me why?
Well, because I'm an entrepreneur. And
very good.
So if I got $1 billion,
yes, sir?
I'm going to try to turn it into 10.
Okay.
So I'm going to make an investment back into the community.
Back into the community.
Yeah.
Very good.
Yeah.
Very good.
So, and see, I quit drinking so I don't have to have those conversations over the lovemaking.
Yes.
You know, but listen, I'm telling you. So I just came from a meeting.
Yes, sir.
I got a new listing, the International Fellowship of Odd Fellows.
Okay.
Downtown.
Okay.
And so
I've been cleaning my shed out, Henry. I had to make a new board, and I've been working. And I come to realize I don't move the way I used to move, Henry. I mean, you probably move better than me, and I'm a younger man than you.
Well, I tell you what I've learned this week. Only stick your beak in deals you're in. So don't stick your nose in other people's business unless you're getting paid.
What are you talking about?
I'm just talking about moving and shaking.
Moving and shaking.
Yeah, what do you do with your time?
You change the topic on me now.
I didn't mean to.
Well, you did.
Well,
I was just keeping a casual, easy conversation.
You know what success is to me?
Well, you just told me.
No, to have the admiration of children.
The admiration of who?
Children. To have your children admire, or children that at large.
Well, how much money does it cost for that to happen?
It shouldn't cost a nickel. It's how
Very
you
good.
treat them.
And I agree with that. And I agree with that.
But what I was telling my client today, Mike Fox is a really cool dude. You know, we met.
Never heard of him.
Well, he used to build Payless shoes,
Oh, okay.
and we met when I was in my. Hey, good morning. Hey, we got people tuning in over there. I didn't even know. We got a dude watching from Africa, Kenya.
Very good. Very
MD's on there. He wants to make sure he gets paid today.
good. Very good.
Let's see if Mike Siegel could fork over some cash. But hello, can you read? Can you pronounce his name? Palermo. Got the African connection. Hey, if you need a black friend, call me, Henry McClure.
Well, that's where I wanted to go. I'm glad you went there, Henry. Because that's where I wanted to go today.
Talk about black and white.
I want to talk about black and white, Henry.
Let's talk about
Let's
it.
go.
What's up?
Well, the problem with America is we don't
Is
want
this your America or
Is it-
my America?
America.
Okay. But what gives you the right to say what's wrong with all of America,
Well, I'm going to tell you what's wrong with America,
in your opinion?
in my opinion.
Okay, go.
The problem with America is we don't want to talk about black and white like we're talking about. We don't want to talk about these subjects.
Isn't it easy?
Well, it is for us. And so why isn't it easy for America? That's my question for you.
I don't know. I got a friend named Brett Blackburn. I call him Blackie.
Okay.
People won't call him Blackie.
Okay.
They don't know because they're so worried about being offended. Here. Who cares?
That's what I'm saying.
Yeah.
The Lord
You
made
know,
us
Morgan
one.
Freeman, you know that guy?
Yes.
I love it. He's on that with Dan Rather,
Very good.
60 Minutes.
Very good.
I think it was Dan Rather. Well, anyway,
Very good.
he goes, what do you think about Black History Month?
Uh-huh.
I don't like it.
Okay. That's fine.
He said, there's history.
That's fine.
We got to quit being black and white. When
Well-
we quit being black and white, you can have the relationship like you and I do.
Well, that's true.
And like David Banks, he's black as they come.
Yes, sir.
And he thinks I'm as black as they come. I was sitting in a restaurant with him one time. I go,
Yes.
hey, did you notice we're the only two black people in this whole restaurant? This lady next to me just starts laughing and then high-fiving.
Yes. Well, I commend you, Henry, for having this show.
Oh, wow.
I commend you for the simple fact that, yes, we may have different cultures. We may eat different foods. However, at the end of the day, we all sleep and eat.
Did you get a good night's sleep?
I wake up usually in the morning because I'm used to working the night shift.
Yeah. What time do you get up?
I may go to sleep at 8 and I'll be up at 12. I may not get back to sleep till 3. And so, because...
It's funny, that first 3 hours,
Yeah.
it's so good.
Yeah.
I almost feel like getting up again.
Yeah, and then after that,
Edison,
go ahead.
he just slept in his shop.
He did.
Yeah, Thomas Edison. It's just like Elon Musk.
Okay.
He would sleep in the middle of the floor under his desk to show people he'd do it.
Yeah.
He only owns 13% of Tesla.
Elon does?
Yeah.
No, I didn't know that.
Yeah, the rest is, it's a stock company.
Shareholders.
Yeah.
Oh, I see. Well,
And what was really wild, that Tampon Tim up in Minnesota, like the Minnesota Trust Fund for the retirement
yes.
owns Tesla.
I see. But
I don't hate anybody if they're rich.
no, I don't hate anybody if they're rich.
It's like,
But how about if they're poor?
well, I mean,
Do you hate them if they're poor?
how can I? It's not my fault.
Huh?
Can't hate them if they're poor.
Well, when you say it's not my fault, see,
No, it's not.
well, it's not your fault if they're rich, is it?
No, it's not my fault.
Okay, very good, very good. Now, the
Hey,
situation.
thank you, by the way.
Okay, For what?
Saying this is a good use of our time.
Oh, absolutely, absolutely, absolutely. Now, for some reason,
Let me ask you.
go ahead.
I always interrupt you.
Go
Are
ahead.
you pissed at me for that?
For what?
I always interrupt.
No.
But
no,
my thought is,
no,
when you're out in the public, do people come up and say they see you on the show? Ever?
no,
Oh.
no. I don't go out in the public very often. First of all.
Why?
Well, I've always.
Well, you haven't reached celebrity status yet.
Right. Correct.
We'll
correct.
get you.
Yeah, I'm not a
We're
celebrity.
going to get you.
Yeah, I was.
I have a show on the Henry McClure Live show.
I was a celebrity back in high school or junior high.
Yeah, for what?
My sports.
Yeah, what were you good at?
I played football.
No, what position?
I was a halfback on
What
offense,
size?
and I was a linebacker on defense.
Oh, okay. See,
But anyhow, that's going way back.
no, I was a halfback, and
Yeah.
then
Did you play
a
both
safety.
sides? You play safety, okay. You
Yeah,
played both
I was
sides, too.
small in junior
Well,
high.
you're not small.
Well,
You're fast and you're.
I
you
grew
hit-
up.
You hit hard.
I grew up. They had a play in 8th grade or 9th grade called Little People, and then all the safeties would go in, and then we'd
Good.
blitz.
Very good.
The little people can get through the line,
Yes.
and that's what makes me successful today. Is I'm nimble.
Well,
If I need to be in Emporia later, after the show, I'm in Emporia,
you can do
showing
that.
space next to the pilot
Well, that's your
travel
job.
plaza.
That's your job.
Yeah,
If it's my job, I can do it.
I got 39 acres. We just closed on the pilot.
Wonderful.
It'll be 50 million in sales.
Wonderful.
Pilot.
Wonderful.
Yeah, I
Wonderful.
like being small and nimble.
Well, that's wonderful.
That's why I got
That's
the new
wonderful.
car.
Oh, I see.
Oh yeah, it rides.
Oh,
I
yeah.
got. I'll bet you we've got now between me and Sterling. We're working on. I don't know, maybe 150 acres of land.
Well, you have an idea what you want to do with your money.
Well, that's just my time.
Yes.
Because you got three things.
Yes.
You got time,
Yes.
talent,
Yes.
and treasure.
Yes.
So, at the height of your sports career, what was your favorite thing in sports back in the day that made you renowned?
Me?
Yeah. Where'd you go to high school?
I went to Highland Park.
Yeah, I liked Highland Park.
I was
You know,
quick.
they
I
had
was
a bunch
quick
of
and fast.
gymnasts there
I
that
was
were
quick
black.
Yeah, I was quick and fast. However, I would like to just move it over here to the fact that Henry, I cannot hate you because you are not aware of situations that I go through. I cannot hate you for that.
No.
I cannot hate you for that. We have a bureaucratic problem.
You know, I'm working for a guy, though, from Highland Park
Oh, okay.
with all this land.
Oh, okay. We have a bureaucratic problem in regard to, in this city, in regard to housing. Housing. And it's been here in Topeka, from some of the old guys have told me, for a number of years. In other words, people don't want to see people like me own housing or purchase housing or to rent out housing. And that's been a problem for me. And I don't hate you for that, Henry.
Well, and
Go
see,
ahead.
I don't see any of that.
Yeah, you don't see that. That's
No,
what I'm saying.
you know why?
I can't hate you for that.
Because it's a real, if you got money and you want to go buy a house,
Yes.
we'll get whatever you want as long as you got money.
Well,
and I want to be your broker.
Well, that's not the way it works here.
No, watch it.
Because
If you got money
if-
and you want to go buy something,
yes,
we'll buy whatever you want.
yes,
White guys,
yes.
black guys, it doesn't matter. It's all about the green money.
Now let me share
But
something.
I want to give the city
Go
of
ahead.
Topeka one pass.
Go ahead.
Because I don't see the city of Topeka ever discriminating
Sure.
on
Sure.
people
Yes, and I'm glad you said that.
between being black and white.
Right. But if you stepped into my
I think
shoes,
it's more if you're a Republican or a Democrat, you get discriminated on,
If you
in my
step,
opinion.
if you step in my shoes, Henry, you'll see a whole different world.
I can't fit in them. They're too small.
Yeah, but you would see a whole different world.
You can fit in mine.
Huh?
You can fit in mine.
And I would see a whole different world. I'm a 10 and a half. What are you, Henry?
13.
You're 5 foot, what?
I'm 13, man.
You're 5'9" or so, and you have a 13-foot shoe.
I need to maybe next time get 13 and a half.
Wow. That's interesting.
Well, I'll tell you something. After 45 every decade,
Your feet grow.
a half a size. No, if you got some toes, man,
That's interesting. Henry.
I had some.
That's really interesting.
Man, my toes are straightening out. Now they got a little more room. You know, I wore 12s for a long time, and then I'm not fitting in them anymore. And it's like my feet are hurting.
You gotta get bigger shoes.
So I got 12 and a half.
Yeah.
And then they're too tight.
Yeah.
So then, look, these things, you know what, these shoes are really cool. Here, we'll do it, advertising. These shoes, a friend of mine goes, what are you wearing, wrestling shoes? These are actually Pumas that I buy at that, that Legends.
Mm-hmm.
They got a Puma outlet. And these
So
were on
Kansas
sale.
City? Kansas City?
Yeah.
Okay.
Bianca Bentley and I work there, or go there a lot.
Well, you know where
But these are driving shoes.
I see. You know where you left Amarillo? They've got a mall there where they have all kinds of shoes. They're in Amarillo. You probably passed it up. Kind of
Amarillo by morning.
Yeah. So
That's a song. That's a country song.
So anyhow, Henry, I have a concern with the bureaucracy.
Being racial.
Yes.
So,
Yes.
Now that Pee Wee Herman left town, the fashion model or the
Okay.
the miss the
Well, it looked like the lady from India is taking her place.
is she from India?
Well, she looks like she's from India.
Well, she's a Muslim. They have Muslims
she's
in
a
India.
Oh, she's a Muslim. I see.
Not that that matters,
Well, no, it doesn't matter.
except during the period of time they don't
Yeah.
shower.
But why did they send him away there, Henry?
I think he got a better deal.
Well, he just got a better job then. Okay, maybe that's all it is.
I mean, wouldn't you rather live in Myrtle Beach and make $338,000 a year? You got to figure. You got to figure if he's making $38,000 here, he probably got a raise. You know what he told a friend of mine? He goes, I get up and leave city council meetings so I don't have to talk to Henry.
That's what he said. Huh?
Yeah.
Why didn't he want to talk to Henry?
Well, he doesn't like us black folk.
Well, why didn't he like us black folk?
Because we don't fit his agenda. We
Well,
don't. We can't help him. He's not paid. He's paid by the chamber
Mm-hmm.
and the Greater Topeka Partnership.
Mm-hmm.
So to push their agenda.
And what is their agenda, Henry?
Their agenda is to make sure that only the members are successful.
Okay, and that's
That's my opinion. Pay to play.
Well, and I agree with that because from what I see, they have an agenda amongst themselves. And,
Look what happened to your dad
That's correct.
out at the MTAA.
That's right.
So why don't we elect that board?
Well,
See, what I'm sick of the chamber. I'm sick of the chamber appointing everybody to every board.
is that what
And
the
I'm sick of the
chamber does that,
Yeah,
or go Topeka?
same thing.
Same thing.
It's all one.
Well, see,
They're
that's
cut from the same cloth.
that's why the citizens that are listening to this need to understand that we need to make a change. We need to make a change.
Where are you on your explorer?
And once
mayor.
once I put my hat in the ring, then you have an opportunity to address some of these issues. Henry, I wanted to ask you.
What do you think of men and women's sports?
Well, before you go there, I want to ask you something.
We're
I
talking
want to
about
stay on
sport.
politics. I want to
Well,
talk
that's
about
politics. Go ahead.
Okay. Now, as a broker
Yes.
or as a developer,
Yes.
what type of assistance would you want from the government?
None.
I'm talking about as far as bonds or anything like that as
Well,
a developer.
bonds are fine. Help me get the bonds, but we'll personally guarantee them.
Okay. So bonding
Yeah.
is what a developer like yourself.
Yeah, but sometimes,
What
so,
type of bonds? You mentioned some bonds the other
well,
day.
an industrial revenue bond. So
Okay.
you ought to be able to, the city bonds, the CFO said the bond rating in Topeka is 4.8. And so you could probably, no, I'm sorry, it's double A. And you ought to be able to bond double A rating at 4.83%.
So where I'm going with this, Henry, is uh, as the mayor, there's enough for everybody.
Right.
We want to make sure that Henry and his clan, we want to make sure that they have whatever they need to do what they need to do.
Here's the thing. I don't want the taxpayer to fund my deal. I don't want them to. But you ought to be able to do a tax incremental financing
Okay.
district, and you ought to be able to do a CID district,
Okay.
and that's it.
And all I'm saying, Henry,
And then the deals stand on their own.
and all I'm saying is, Henry, as mayor, I wouldn't have a problem with that. But I would also want to be inclusive to some of those minorities down there.
Well, I'll make a deal with you.
Yes, sir.
If you're elected mayor,
Yes, sir.
I'll do what I'm told as far as however I can do to help you.
I appreciate that.
And what if I run for
Because-
mayor? Will you help me?
I will help you, Henry.
All
I
right.
will help you.
It's a black and white accord.
Yes. And if you run for, I'm glad you got there, Henry. If you run for mayor, what would you do in reference? Are you familiar with the housing and urban development? Are you familiar with that?
Well, no.
Okay.
I mean, yes and no.
Okay.
I don't think, because we disagree on what it is.
Okay. Well, housing and urban development was created in the Nixon administration in 1960.
Okay, so hang on a second here.
70s.
Okay. Should the citizens of Topeka
Mm-hmm.
fund that project?
No, the federal government funds that project.
Well, those are still our money. It's still our
It's
money.
taxpayers' money.
Yeah.
Yes, they fund that.
So, yeah, I wanna
now,
get-
Now, do you know what the money is supposed to be used for? See?
Tell me.
It was supposed to be. It was used for initially when Sam Jackson was in Washington. His brother Earl was right here in Topeka, and the what's called Jefferson Square now. It was used as urban renewal to help bring up those neighborhoods. Now, after that project, it was brought to my attention that the government seen where they had abused some of those funds. So they took that money, and now, as of today, you know what they use those funds for, Henry? They have changed the program, and they use those funds. They use those funds for police officers can if they have a $450,000 house, they will use those funds to reduce they will do a subsidize so that police officers can afford that $450,000 house. They may.
Why is that fair?
Well, I'm just telling you what they're doing, Henry.
But why is it fair?
Well, nothing in life is fair. We know that, Henry. But my point is, if you're a school teacher, they will do the same thing. And so, has it ever reached where it was the original intentions? And so, I'm going somewhere here with this, Henry. It seems like that's what happens over and over and over again. I mean, what I'm trying to say is, black people are human beings. We are smart, intelligent human beings. And to keep doing these things is against the principles of our Savior.
Wait
Just a minute, Henry. Our Savior is not happy with what's going on here. That's why he's brought me to the Henry McCure Live show to be able to express to the public, because as Henry said, this is the only place you're going to get this information. WIBW don't get paid to put this information on their TV.
No, because the oligarchs and the
That is correct.
and the
That is correct. That's
the
all.
chamber members,
That
they
is
can't.
correct.
They don't want to change anything.
Right. And they support the oligarchs in the chamber because the oligarchs pay them good
They're
money.
the advertising, baby.
They pay them good money. They pay WIBW good money.
They can't upset the apple cart.
That's correct. Go ahead, Henry.
There ain't no
Oh,
report.
excuse me. Brother Henry.
Okay, but here's the thing about what you're saying about
So you can what
the
I'm-
government in
what
business.
I'm saying-
I want the government out of business.
What I'm saying here, Henry, is I can say what I just said. I don't know if it slipped past you or where it went, because we can do that to each other because we have agreed to disagree.
Yeah.
And that's what we as citizens within this community. Did it slip past you what I called you, Henry, or what I called your group?
No, brother.
You,
That's what Jack Alexander used to call me.
well,
Jack?
Well, I'm talking about, and I'm going to have to bring it back, and I want you to address it, because we can do that. When I said Henry and his clan, remember I said
Oh, well, I'm just going to ignore that
well,
bullshit.
see, we have to learn to ignore some things about one another, just because we're
The Klan started by Southern Democrats.
okay. There we go, right there. He doesn't have a problem saying that. Why are we afraid?
Hell, we're the slave. We're the Republicans are the party of the free the slave.
And what are we the part? What are we doing now, Henry? What are we the part of the MAGA party? What are we doing now?
Make America great.
Okay.
Okay,
Is
look.
Go ahead.
Anybody that's fighting fraud, waste, and abuse
Yes, sir.
are the recipients of that. Hey, look, we should have Nancy Pelosi and really everybody in Congress that have gained massive amounts of wealth just by
Yes.
having the job.
Yes.
They should be investing our money.
Yes.
There should be, give them the Social Security Trust Fund.
My last recollection, she got about 40 million.
Let's
Well,
let,
maybe it's her husband.
let's let the taxpayers receive the benefits of their windfalls that they have.
Well, you're not a socialist, Henry, or you're at the middle part. You're in the middle portion.
No, I'm just let them be an advisor. But if they get inside information and profit off of it, why can't the public? You know, they actually have an application.
Well, they wouldn't allow the cooking lady to do that. They put her in jail for that.
Yeah, but
Martha Stewart.
but why is Nancy Pelosi in jail?
Well, you tell me. You know how the game is played.
Because she's a Democrat, and the bureaucrats are going to keep the Democrats in party.
That's correct. The bureaucrats. So as long as we have bureaucrats,
And Matt Pavarnak was nothing but a bureaucrat.
well, that's probably correct.
We don't need the NGOs. Look, this whole open records request, Rich Eckert, this is a work of art. Our county councilor, for the longest non-answer. And really, why don't you just write "fuck you, Henry"? You might as well.
Come on now, bring it on.
He really should.
You're preaching now.
But hang on a second here. The taxpayers ought to know what Jetto is obligating us to.
That's correct.
We ought to be able to read the lease.
That is correct.
There's no secret.
There shouldn't be.
And I don't know who owns the AT&T building. Really, I don't know. It could have sold, So why should I go around saying Cody Foster owns it when I don't know? But I think he owns it.
Okay.
But why can't?
You did it. You're saying
a core request?
You said you did a core request, and let's break down what core is for some of the laymen.
Kansas Open Records Act.
The Kansas Open Records Act, the request. And in federal, call it a FOIA request. In Kansas, you call it a
CORA.
CORA stands for
Kansas.
Kansas. Very good. Okay.
So I think the taxpayers ought to have transparency
that is
to
correct.
where this money's going.
Well, that is correct.
Here's the point.
So
The
did you
whole
get your
point
question
is
answered when you?
we don't know. This is the worst answer ever.
What'd they
From
say?
Rich Eckert,
What'd
our
they say?
county counselor,
What'd they
who, if
say?
I was a county commissioner, I'd
Yeah.
fire that guy.
That's correct.
But they got bobblehead in there. They got bobblehead,
Well,
and everybody. I don't even know. I spent my own money,
yes, sir.
my own commission money.
Yes, sir. I'm
Trying
sorry,
to.
it's really got me.
No, I'm spending my own commission money, my own private money that I made to fight bobblehead, and Matt Pavarnak and Molly and all the members of the chamber are fighting me, and I'm the guy making deals happen. But bobblehead, all he's doing, he's out there.
Well, Henry, let me share something with you if you don't already know.
Go ahead.
When you have James Bolden on your show, that's not going to take you forward anything with him.
What?
With having me on the show, Henry.
What, you're pulling down my ratings?
Well, with them, yes.
Who cares?
Okay.
No, and that's the point. Is if you see my name on the ballot, the guy with the most amount of signs shouldn't be the guy that wins. That's not politics.
No, but it depends on our community out there. If our community is wanting to continue with the same old, knowing that I'm coming to you today saying that there is a problem. So you can either look into the problem or you can say, oh, that's his problem. But let me tell you something. It is my problem. It is my problem. But you should have the love of Christ in you, where if I bring a problem to you, you should want to address those problems. Because that's what Jesus has taught us to do. He has taught us to love one another. If you have a problem, I'm going to address your problem. Those of all that you know, I clean your carpets. You have a problem when you call me. I take care of your carpets. And you pay me and you say, it's a good job, James. Well, when I take those funds and I try to invest those, as Henry was saying, then let me give you an example. I purchased a foreclosure from the county. And after purchasing it, the city came back and said, well, we're going to demolish that. I said, well, I'm going to fix it up. They said, no, you're not going to fix it up. I said, well, I'm going to use the housing and urban development money, that's what it's for, to fix it up. And they said, you need to wait your turn. I said, okay, I'll wait my turn. While I'm waiting, they demolished my properties. I had one property appraised at $30,000. And the H&D guy at that time, you mentioned his name last week, Henry. I guess I won't mention his name because I told you I'm going to go light today. I went to him.
Was Bill Finder the H&D guy?
No, he wasn't H&D guy. He was in planning, though. Now, when I showed him the $30,000 appraisal, he called the appraisal company and said, hey, don't do no more appraisals for that guy.
For you personally?
That's correct.
Boy, that's obstruction.
Well, that's why you see me looking tired and looking the way I'm looking today. I've dealt with
Just trying to find a good appraiser.
Well, no, I found a good appraiser.
I liked him too.
Yeah, I found a good appraiser. He was out of Lawrence. I didn't get an appraiser from around here because I already knew the games.
You want to hear the perfect segue to this whole thing?
Go ahead, Evan.
Now, what you went through right there is the exact same thing at a different level.
Okay, very good.
It's about the public knowing what's going on.
Very good. That's what we're here for today.
Yeah. So if you would have known that house was going to be torn down, you might not have bought it.
I would have not bought it.
So that wasn't disclosed.
That wasn't disclosed.
Hey, you know who's in charge of giving information? Right now, it's the county councilor. You ought to be able. So right now, I think we have 1,000 properties that owe taxes on. We ought to be auctioning them off one at a time. What's this guy so busy doing? Shining his head?
Well, they did auction them off.
Or buffing his head?
Yeah, they did auction them off.
No, there's 1,000 still today on the books. What are you doing about that, Susan Duffy?
The problem is that I'm referring to is, at that time, I referred to H&D, which is the Housing and Urban Development Fund, the $2 million that the city gets every year. Now, if I knew,
Oh, Randy Speaker.
Okay, I'm not going to say. If I knew that it was a corrupt organization, see, you have to understand. In 2004, I bought the property in 2001. In 2004, I received $100,000 or so contract in Fort Riley. I could have fixed the house up with my own money if they didn't want to work the programs, or if they had taken the programs and were working them for themselves. Well, they just showed me. They said, James, we're going to take your property. You ain't got to worry about fixing them up with our money. See, this is when they get taxpayer dollars, they consider that our money. That's their money. That's the bureaucrats' money. See?
Oh man, did you read about? You know who Bobby Kennedy Jr. is, right?
Bobby?
Yeah.
Junior?
Robert Kennedy Jr.
Brother. Robert Kennedy.
No, his
son.
Well, so you got JFK.
Right.
Robert.
And then Junior.
And then Bobby Kennedy.
Is his son.
Robert. He's also Robert Kennedy.
Is his son.
His brother, Robert.
His brother, okay.
No, wait a minute. John Kennedy. What? Right. He wasn't Robert. Yeah, JFK was John.
Right, and then Robert was his brother.
Yeah. Robert's son.
Okay.
Is now, he's a Democrat appointed by Trump.
Okay.
The Democrats wouldn't let him run for president.
Okay.
But he's appointed by Trump to run the health component.
Oh, yeah, I know what you're talking about.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You know what? He found out that within his organization, you had to buy information from another division. There's corruption within his department, where one department of the government had to buy information from this department when it's already owned by the same guy, the people.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
What they're doing today is so monumental, they're changing everything. So we're just going to have to shake it up. A guy's going to, they've only like 1.5% of government have lost their jobs, and a lot of them did it voluntarily.
And are getting paid.
They decided to take the buyout.
Now, are we making America great again? Since we'll go ahead and go.
Well, yeah, we're going to make America great again. We're not going to just provide jobs to people that are stealing our money.
Who's stealing our money?
The government employees.
That's what I'm talking about here.
Yeah.
That's what I'm talking about here.
Well, it's about time you got on board.
Yeah. But are we firing the right people is the question. Now.
Well, are you tracking every deal? Okay, so should Randy have lost his job?
Of course.
Okay.
Does he still work for the state?
No.
Who does he work for?
He works for some big trust. He's a big deal.
When did he leave the state?
When he was asked to leave?
When was that?
I don't know.
Last I heard, he still was working for
the state.
Must have been recent.
Within months.
Oh, okay. So it's recent.
I have a bad concept of time.
Well, Randy,
like I never know when Miller time is now that I'm sober.
Randy has his own apartment complexes in Nebraska somewhere.
Good for him.
Good for him. But why are you going to stop me?
Do you feel he stopped you because you're black?
I don't know why he stopped me. You have to ask him. What I'm saying
we can go with him.
What I'm saying is,
I like Randy. I've known him forever.
Well,
since I was like in junior high.
Well, what I'm saying is that there's a conspiracy within those federal funds that Sam Jackson brought to help the urban communities. I'm saying because of greed. This is what I'm saying here. Because of greed, they have stuck their hands into the cookie jar that does not belong to them. Does not belong to them.
Well, so
cookie
jar.
Yeah. What is enough enough?
Let's just say Cody Foster does own this, for argument's sake, since the core request
Why would he get 9.2 million for something he doesn't own?
9.5 now. I've been saying 9.2, but it's
something-
9.5.
For something he doesn't own.
Okay, but just because, well, he owns the building, but
Well,
it's a failed project.
But you say you didn't know if he owned the building.
I don't know if he owned it because they're playing games. This is what we call hide the weenie in business. You know, I'm not going to tell you the truth. You know, we're sticking it to you later.
Yeah, and you're in the developer and the broker's business, huh? I'm not familiar with that business. I mean, I was trying to be involved, but they stopped me at every turn.
Trust me, the lawyer, it's like the girl deciding whether she's going to make love for $1 million. You know,
Mm-hmm.
they all have their price.
Mm-hmm.
We got a call coming in. We put them on the show.
This is probably a customer. Hello.
Excuse me. We're live on the Henry McClure business.
I'm sorry.
I mean, live show, whatever this is.
Yes, it is. Yes, it is.
We're watching.
Yes, I am.
We're watching a deal being put together right now.
Yes.
This is how we do it.
We do area rugs, yes.
We got an area rug deal. I'd have him look at my Orientals. Well, back to this deal. This is the biggest piece of sophistry ever written down. We're going to give him a break. I'll be right back. No, I got so much to do. Here's the thing about it. My client today, this morning, was saying, oh, you're not going to buy signs. You're not going to take running for mayor seriously. Well, yeah, I will. I'll take it serious. I'll put my name on the ballot. But I don't think it's the guy with the most signs wins. If you guys elect an incumbent, I just think that you're not being prudent because they got us exactly where we are today. All right, you make a deal?
We're working on it.
We're going to go make a quote?
No, not today.
All right.
I'm in a meeting.
You're in a meeting now?
Well, I am now.
Now you're back in the meeting.
I'm back in the meeting.
All right. Where did we leave off?
Well,
social injustice.
Well, yeah. I think I've tied that up. You have anything you want to add to that?
Well, no. I mean, there's no difference in. There's probably no. I think I'll be able to sue Go Topeka in the long run for never helping one of my deals.
Well, what you're saying,
I really think, and
what you're saying is that when you're truthful and honest, then you have to deal with the devil, which is in the government. And we need to remove. And this is what we're talking about. We need to remove. And how are you going to remove evil with evil? You have to put somebody. If you don't want to put me, if Henry runs, you can put Henry there and hold him accountable. Or if you don't put either one of us there, then put somebody there that you can hold accountable. And that means they have to be able to speak the truth.
So let's talk about discrimination.
Go ahead.
Because it doesn't matter in this deal whether you're black or white. It's about being who you are.
Correct.
It's who you are.
Correct.
And the fact
if
that
you're part of the Old Boy Network.
Yeah, and let's say the owner of that AT&T building is part of that network. Well, I think at some point in time I will have a lawsuit for them never helping me ever on any of my deals.
Well, Henry, if you want to take some good advice.
Yeah.
Because I've been to courts.
Yeah, why waste the money?
Because if the judges...
Wasting money on lawyers and signs are the same thing.
If the judges, if they've been bought,
Man, I got a Doge.
I've been there. I've already been there. I was up in Kansas City at Judge Vrattle's court.
Judge Rattle?
Judge Vrattle.
With a V?
With a V.
Rattle.
Yes, sir. She was just picked up here not too long ago for DUI. However, when I was in her court, and this was over this housing.
She took the $1 million at the bar, and then got hammered.
Well, there you go. She did not give me.
She had to drink. Drink her John Handsome.
Yeah, because I received no justice, and I was out another few $1,000s.
You know, I got a Doge. You know, I have ShawneeCountyDoge.com, right?
Yeah.
And I got a really, from one of our listeners, I got a really good thing to post up about K-Gay. You know, K-Gay ought to be, our the city district attorney.
Okay. I haven't had any dealings with him.
But like, we've got district judges out there on the federal level trying to tell the president of the United States what to do when it's not his place.
Whose place?
You know something?
Yeah.
The judge's place. Now, this is a good one. Now, hang on a second here.
Go ahead.
So,
I'm going to address that.
We've got a district court judge saying, you can't deport those Venezuelans. And he says, I can due to the Alien Deportation Act of 1806. Well, wait a minute. That law's too old. Well, no, it's a law. That's like... don't forget thou shalt not kill.
Right.
Let's don't forget that law. That was a good law.
Right. Still is.
Yeah. Well, so and that's an old law.
Well, that's Jesus' law.
Well, and just because it's old doesn't mean you take it off the books.
Well, that is correct.
Yeah.
But let me address that for you, Henry.
You address it.
Being I'm somewhat of a legal mind. There's something called due process, Henry. No,
not to an illegal alien. He doesn't have the same rights as a fucking American.
Well,
there is no due process for a combative.
Well, you open up the can of words, and so I'm going to address that.
They don't get the rights of an American citizen.
Well, do they get the rights to work for you to build a building? Do they get the right to do that?
No, hang on. We're talking about illegal aliens that are criminals that are in a gang. That are not they're already here illegal and they're on a plane going to prison, okay? And the judge is trying to say you got to turn that plane around.
Right.
They don't have due process.
What do you mean?
Those Venezuelan illegal aliens.
Well, how do you know they're criminals?
Do
you know them personally?
Oh, okay. I'm done then.
Okay.
I mean, on to the next thing.
Yeah, let's go to that.
Yeah. Because if you're going to stick up for illegal aliens, you don't have a place on my show.
I asked a simple question.
Well, how do you know?
Do you know they're criminals?
Well, hang on a second here.
That's all I said. Do you know they're criminals?
Well, that judge doesn't.
You said they were criminals.
They are criminals.
How do you know that?
Because the guys arresting them have their rap sheet.
Are you sure of that?
Well, so that means if you get pulled over for a driver's license and say, hey, wait, your license expired. Yeah. Well, how do you know that? Well, it says so right here. So at what point in time does something become real?
Well, if your license expired, does that mean you're a criminal?
Well, you can't drive your car on an expired license.
So normally you go to jail for that.
Okay. So what if they've got the file and this guy's... they know he's been killing people.
Well, if they know he's killing, he's a criminal.
Right.
And then I have no problem with that.
Okay.
If he's illegal, let me share with you a little bit.
No, hang on a second here. It stops if they're in the country illegally. They get deported. There's nobody can stop them.
Well, I don't disagree with that. If they're here illegally.
Okay.
I don't disagree.
So,
with that. But what I like to
they
say,
don't have papers. They can't produce their papers.
Right.
And wait a minute, you're a suspect in all these criminal acts. What if these people have been convicted of crimes and then let go? You know, you can get out, you can be convicted of crime in some cities and just be let go.
Well, that's the court system.
Okay,
That's
so
what
so now hang on. So let's just say I got one guy here.
Right.
He's here legally. He was
Right.
convicted of something,
Right.
and he went out and committed a crime,
Right.
and it was released. So that guy right there, does the judge got the right to tell that guy, hey, turn the flight around because we want to check out? That guy's got rights. Does that guy got rights?
Did he have the right to take my property without?
No, these are apples and oranges.
No, they're not. No, they're not.
Oh, yeah, they are.
I'm just asking you.
No, you're an American citizen.
So do they have the
You're
right?
here legally.
So do they have the right to take my property without just compensation? So this is what we're dealing with, Henry.
Well, wait a
I'm
minute.
not-
Did
not
you get
sticking-
any money?
No.
Do you still have the property?
Yes.
They just demoed the building. They
Yes.
said it was condemned.
Yes. Is that
So you
right?
still have your property.
But so is that right?
Nothing I can do about it.
But is that right? Is all I'm saying.
Doesn't feel good.
But is it right?
But it wasn't because you were
Is that,
black.
is that the law?
It wasn't because you were black.
But is that the law?
Well, apparently.
No, that's not the law.
Well,
The law-
so
the law
now
says-
did you go back and sue him for it?
Well, that's what I was in the court in the beginning for.
Okay. Well, did you win?
Well, no.
Well, but the judge ruled.
The judge ruled.
So that's the deal.
It's a done deal.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So what are we arguing about it then for?
Well, we were talking about what's right. You were talking about what's right.
Well, having property rights and murdering and raping people and having them deported are two different things.
Well, I never condone a criminal. See, you got a little upset.
I got upset because a judge is trying to interfere
No,
with.
you got upset because I said they have due process. They have
No,
a right,
they don't.
They have a right to go to court. Now let me go back if
No,
I
wait,
may.
no.
Before you kick me
The
off
illegal
show.
alien. You're not
Yeah.
going to get kicked off the show.
Well, I'm just saying. Can I speak, Henry? Because I know some facts. When Venezuela, when the new president came in, he was fresh. He was like a baby. He came in 8 years ago, and he said, "Why are we giving money to Venezuela?" He said, "See." He said, "Why are we giving these people money?" And so he said, "I'm going to cut that money off. I'm not going to give them no more money." That's when the influx of Venezuelans began to come over here. And not only that, because their people was over here working construction. I was in Texas at the time. It was hot in Texas. It was so hot, I said, I'm not going to clean no carpet down here. It's 103 degrees every day during the day. But the Hispanics were out there in the asphalt fixing the roads. There's jobs here. There's jobs here. And I don't know if you hire them or not, but there's contractors that hire them. I've been on the jobs, Kansas City. They pay them under the table, and they get their jobs done for the contractors. Well, that's illegal, but it goes on day in and day out. So when you talk about illegal and what's illegal, the citizens have stood by, and if you didn't know about it, okay, I understand you didn't know about it. But now you know about it. Investigate it. Don't take my word for it, because this is going to lead to anarchy in this country. So they came over here, and they came over here because the Venezuelan government's crooked. And the Venezuelan, when Donald Trump said we're going to cut off the money, they said, well, this is just enough money for us. And they quit giving the people money. This is stuff I've read. I didn't make this up. People could no longer afford to live there. And, back in 2004, when I was in Fort Riley, I had 20 buildings to clean. They were my best workers, but they were legal. They had their what they call it? They had their cards, their Visa cards, because one guy had to go back. I let him go back because his time had expired. They were legal. However, they were also my best workers. I couldn't get there's supposed to be people on welfare is going to work for me. They didn't want to work. They couldn't work. They didn't know about working. I out of all the black workers, out of all the white workers, they were my best workers. That's why they're over here. That's why other companies are hiring them full time. Some paying them underneath the table, which is illegal, but the Army Corps is not going to look at it. They're going to turn their head the other way. So now all of a sudden, we've gotten these guys to build our roads. Trump has few of them. He paid them. And some he didn't pay. Came out, he didn't pay some of them workers. Okay, we got what we need out of them. Let's send them on back. That's the same thing they were saying about black folks going back to Africa. You've built the country, and you're going back to Africa now. Is that right? So we've got 7 hurricanes predicted, my wife was just telling me, coming this year. We've got hurricanes, we've got fires, we've got a mess going on here. And the only way we're going to clear this mess is with clear leadership. You may be comfortable today, but when it hits you, it's too late. Now is the time. I'm just a messenger. Now is the time. Bring good leadership to Topeka. That's all I'm asking today, Henry. Thank you, sir. Go ahead.
I didn't interrupt.
No, you didn't. You did good, Henry.
Gave your due.
You did good. You did good. I'm done now. I told you I was gonna take it light today.
We didn't crucify anybody.
No, we didn't.
See, I don't know who to crucify because
we're right at our limit.
Because the government,
it's all yours now.
Because the government won't tell me who to crucify.
Well, I'm telling you who you should be crucifying. That's what I'm bringing to the table.
Let me ask you one question.
Yes, sir.
Do you think the open border was the right thing to have? Just people coming in
Did we
unvetted?
ever? My wife used to live in California, Henry, and she said back in the day, this was years ago, that people would just walk across and go across the border. So, from my understanding, they've been coming across and going across for a number of years.
Does that make it right?
Well, do they? What I'm saying is, I don't know if they have a Visa card and if it's legal. I'm assuming they're legal.
Okay.
But it's not right. We both know. We're both intelligent men. We both know if it's illegal, it's not right. So, and I'm not condoning illegal.
Have you heard?
Yes, sir.
That Venezuela opened up their prisons, brought people up to the border, and let them in the United States?
I haven't heard that one. Is that true?
Yes.
Okay, I didn't know about that. There's a lot I don't know about.
Okay.
Why? I wonder. It makes me wonder, why would they do that? Is it because they?
Well, why not do it? So you don't have to. The Venezuela doesn't have to feed them.
Well, you travel around quite a bit. I'm back in Texas also. Henry.
Is it raining?
It's going to today. I'm going to get back and cut my grass and fix my lawnmower. But Henry, we're at the hour show now, so whenever you cut off, whenever. But Henry, I've seen lines coming across the board. What's going on with that? This has been going on for how long?
I think we're going to hold the open border show for the next show.
Okay, very good, very good, very good.
Because we're going to keep it alive.
Yeah, because that's going to get real.
All right, close it up.
Well,
are you going to throw your hat in the ring this week?
I plan on going down there this week and getting the rules and regulations.
Andrew Howe. It'll take you about 2 minutes to fill out the form.
Well, I want to get the rules and regulations.
All right, I'll see if I can get them online. Henry McClure Live.
Okay, we love you, Topeka.
I love you. I don't know about James. He loves you.
Thank you.
All right, y'all have a good day.